What happens when a Vegas casino spends $8.5 billion trying to be the future, only to become the past faster than a losing streak at the blackjack table? That's the Arya story, folks. Once marketed as the crown jewel of city center, the ultra-modern alternative to those cheesy volcano shows and pirate battles, Arya was supposed to revolutionize the Strip. No gimmicks, no themes, just pure sophisticated luxury. But here's the kicker. In 2025, this smart resort is looking pretty dumb. Stick around, because what's happening at Arya reveals everything wrong with modern Vegas. The tech that aged like milk in the desert. You know what's crazy? Arya bet everything on being the smart hotel of the future. Back in 2009, they were bragging about rooms that wake up when you walk in, touch panels controlling your curtains, and enough screens to make NASA jealous. 15 years ago, that stuff was mind-blowing. Today, it's about as impressive as a flip phone at an iPhone convention. Here's the deal. Those fancy curtains everyone raved about? Now, they're the #1 complaint on TripAdvisor. Guests are literally fighting with glitchy software at midnight just to turn off the lights. You're paying $400 a night and spending 10 minutes tapping through menus like you're trying to defuse a bomb. One visitor told me it took him 3 attempts and the YouTube tutorial to figure out how to adjust the room temperature. That's not luxury, that's a tech support nightmare. The real kick in the teeth? Well, Arya stuck with its 2010 smart features. Every Motel 6 in America now has better Wi-Fi and simpler controls. Your teenager's bedroom probably has more intuitive tech than these supposedly cutting-edge suites. MGM spent millions on technology that aged faster than a showgirl's makeup under stage lights. And unlike those pirate ships and volcanoes they mocked, at least those still work when you push the button. But wait, it gets worse. Fixing this mess would cost hundreds of millions. You can't just swap out a few iPads. The entire infrastructure is built around this outdated system. It's like trying to upgrade a VHS player to stream Netflix. The bones of the building are locked into yesterday's vision of tomorrow. Meanwhile, the new generation of Vegas visitors? They want experiences they can share on social media, not a touchscreen that crashes harder than the housing market in 2008. The invisible casino problem. Let me ask you something. What's Arya famous for? Take 5 seconds. Still thinking? That's the problem, right there. Every major Vegas property has that one thing, that signature move that gets people through the doors. Bellagio? Those fountains are more reliable than sunrise. Venetian? Indoor gondola rides that make you forget you're in the middle of a desert. Caesars? You're gambling where Julius himself would have blown his denarii. Even that new Sphere thing is pulling crowds like a magnet made of neon and bad decisions. But Arya? Arya is known for being there. It's like that friend who shows up to the party but nobody remembers inviting. Nice enough, sure, but what's their deal? I'll tell you what tourists see when they look at Arya. A big glass box. That's it. No volcano erupting every hour. No pirate ships battling at sunset. No massive LED sphere showing eyeballs that follow you down the Strip. Just glass, steel, and the personality of a tax attorney's office building. In a city where being boring is worse than being bankrupt, Arya committed the ultimate sin. They played it safe. They thought sophistication meant subtraction. Take away the themes, remove the gimmicks, strip out the fun. What's left? A very expensive place to lose money, without any of the magic that makes losing money in Vegas feel special. The casino floor tells the whole story. Walk through Wynn and you feel like James Bond. Hit the Cosmo and you're in a music video. Even Circus Circus, that budget dinosaur, gives you something to look at while your wallet gets lighter. But Arya's casino? It feels like what would happen if Goldman Sachs designed a gambling hall. All polish, no pulse. High rollers aren't impressed by minimalism. They want to feel like kings, not conference attendees. Young players want energy and excitement. Budget gamblers want value and entertainment. Arya manages to disappoint all 3 groups simultaneously, which is actually kind of impressive, in the worst possible way. City Center's billion-dollar ghost town. Here's something that'll blow your mind. Arya isn't even the only problem child in its own neighborhood. It's stuck right in the middle of city center, MGM's $8.5 billion baby that was supposed to reshape the strip. Some reshape. Half the complex feels like a luxury ghost town. You've got the Crystals shopping center, which has more empty corners than an abandoned mall in Detroit. Vidara next door? No casino, which in Vegas is like having a beach house with no beach. The Waldorf Astoria is so quiet you could hear a poker chip drop from 3 blocks away. This whole complex was supposed to be the beating heart of New Vegas. Instead, it's got the energy of a retirement home on Ambien. Meanwhile, right across the street, Park MGM is stealing Arya's lunch money with actual personality and, get this, a no-smoking casino that people actually want to visit. The Cosmopolitan is pulling in every Instagram influencer west of the Mississippi. T-Mobile Arena is packed with screaming hockey fans and concert crowds. Everyone around Arya is thriving, while Arya's just existing. The location should be perfect. You're right in the middle of the action, connected to everything. Prime real estate that other casinos would kill for. But when your neighbors are throwing better parties, have better food, and create better memories, being in the middle just means you're surrounded by superior competition. It's like being the boring guy at a table full of comedians. Sure, you're there, but nobody's looking at you. What really stings? MGM owns half these properties. They're essentially competing against themselves, and Arya's losing. That's like getting beaten at poker by your own reflection. The death by 1,000 cuts. You want to know what's really killing Arya? It's not one big thing. It's death by 1,000 corporate cuts. MGM's been squeezing this place like a lemon that's already dry. Cocktail service that used to come around every 15 minutes? Now you're lucky if you see a server once an hour. Those high-touch luxury services that justified the prices? Gone, replaced by apps and automation. The staff that's left is stretched thinner than a compulsive gambler's bankroll. Here's what burns me up. They're still charging luxury prices while delivering Motel 6 service. You're paying $500 a night for a room, $18 for a beer, $30 to park. And what are you getting? The privilege of using their broken smart controls and waiting 45 minutes for a drink that costs more than minimum wage. The restaurant scene that once made Arya a dining destination? It's gotten stale, while Resorts World is importing Michelin stars like they're going out of style. The Cosmopolitan reinvents its food program yearly. Even Caesar's, that ancient Roman, keeps its restaurants fresher than Arya's lineup. When people describe your restaurants as nice but nothing special, that's Vegas speak for dead man walking. What's worse is you can see the decline in real time. Regulars notice the little things: cheaper toilet paper in the bathrooms, longer waits for elevators, less attentive housekeeping. These aren't accidents, these are decisions. Some suit in a boardroom decided saving 50 cents per room on amenities was worth sacrificing the entire luxury experience. The irony is crushing. Arya was built to be the sophisticated alternative to those tacky-themed casinos. But at least when you stay at New York, you know what you're getting. At Arya, you're paying champagne prices for beer service, and the beer's getting warm. The competition is eating them alive. While Arya's been standing still, everyone else has been sprinting. The Sphere alone has redefined what spectacle means in Vegas. That thing pulls more cameras than a Kardashian wedding. People are literally planning entire trips just to see a giant ball show weird stuff on its surface. Fontainebleau, even with all its drama and delays, opened with more buzz than Arya's had in 5 years. Resorts World brought actual innovation, not 2010's idea of smart rooms, but real experiences people want to share and remember. Even the old dogs are learning new tricks. Bellagio keeps refreshing, Wynn stays relevant, Caesars knows its lane and owns it. But Arya? Arya's like that person still using their college email address at 40. Technically functional, but everyone knows you peaked 2 decades ago. The young crowd that Vegas desperately needs? They're at Cosmo posting stories, at Wynn pretending they're rich, at Circa downtown actually having fun. Nobody's hashtagging their Arya stay, unless it's to complain about the controls not working. Business travelers still book Arya, sure. But business travelers don't drop $5,000 at the tables. They don't buy bottles at the club. They expense their buffet and go to bed at 10 p.m. You can't run a Vegas casino on corporate Amex cards and convention attendees. The most damning evidence? Walk through Arya on a Saturday night, and then walk through Cosmopolitan. One feels like a library with slot machines. The other feels like Vegas is supposed to feel. Alive, electric, slightly dangerous, definitely fun. Guess which one's making money? The competition isn't just stealing customers. They're redefining what luxury means in Vegas. Wynn figured out that true luxury means never having to ask for anything twice. Cosmopolitan understood that modern luxury is about being seen and being part of something exclusive. Even Park MGM, Aria's supposedly inferior neighbor, created a stronger identity with one simple move: going smoke-free. That's what kills me about this whole situation. Park MGM was the ugly duckling of the MGM portfolio, the old Monte Carlo with a paint job. But they took a risk, banned smoking, attracted a whole new demographic, and now they're packed while Aria's casino floor echoes like an empty warehouse. When your little brother is showing you up, you know you've got problems. The financial time bomb nobody's talking about. Here's the dirty secret MGM doesn't want you to know. Aria's bleeding money in ways that would make a compulsive gambler look fiscally responsible. Those smart rooms everyone hates? They're not just annoying, they're expensive to maintain. Every software glitch, every broken panel, every confused guest calling the front desk costs money. The property's operational costs are through the roof. All that glass? Gorgeous to look at, murder to keep clean in the desert. The cooling bills alone in summer could fund a small country. Those modern materials and finishes that seemed so cutting edge in 2009, they're wearing out faster than expected and cost 3 times as much to replace as traditional casino fixtures. But here's where it gets really interesting. Aria's stuck in what I call the premium price trap. They can't lower rates without admitting they're not truly luxury anymore. But at current prices, they're losing customers to properties that offer better value, whether that's Cosmo's Energy, Wynn's Service, or even Caesar's entertainment options. The convention business that was supposed to be Aria's ace in the hole? It's drying up faster than Lake Mead. Companies are cutting travel budgets, moving to virtual events, or choosing properties with better meeting facilities. When Resorts World opened with state-of-the-art convention space, they basically kneecapped Aria's corporate market. And unlike leisure travelers who might forgive some issues for the right price, corporate planners have zero tolerance for tech problems and service gaps. Revenue per available room, the holy grail metric in the hotel business, has been sliding for 3 years straight. While Vegas overall is setting records, Aria's trending the wrong direction. They're filling rooms by cutting rates through third-party sites, which means less profit and cheaper guests who don't gamble as much. It's a death spiral, dressed up in glass and steel. The sports betting revolution that's lifting other properties? Arya missed that boat too. Their sportsbook is an afterthought, tucked away like they're embarrassed by it. Meanwhile, Circa built an entire identity around sports betting. Caesars has the best app integration. Even Westgate, that off-strip dinosaur, has a better sports betting experience than Arya. The demographic disaster that's coming. Want to know what really terrifies MGM executives? Aria's customer base is aging out, and the younger crowd wants nothing to do with them. The average Arya guest is now 52 years old. That's not necessarily bad, except when your whole brand was built on being the future. Gen Z thinks Arya is where their parents stay. Millennials see it as corporate and soulless. The Instagram generation wants experiences, not technology that was outdated before they finished high school. These are the people who will drive Vegas for the next 30 years, and they're actively avoiding Arya like it's a Dave Matthews Band reunion tour. The influencer economy that's reshaping Vegas hospitality? Aria's completely missed it. Nobody's taking selfies in front of Arya. There's no signature cocktail going viral, no must-see show, no hidden speakeasy that everyone's talking about. The property generates less social media engagement than a DMV waiting room. Even worse, Aria's trying to chase trends they don't understand. They'll occasionally attempt some viral marketing campaign, but it always feels forced. Authenticity can't be programmed into a smart room system. Cool can't be downloaded through a software update. The entertainment lineup tells the whole story. While other properties are booking acts that trend on Spotify, Arya's entertainment feels like it was programmed by an algorithm from 2015. No residencies that matter, no shows people plan trips around, no concerts that sell out in minutes. Just safe, middle-of-the-road offerings that excite nobody under 40. The pool scene, crucial for attracting younger visitors, is a complete disaster. Aria's pools are nice enough, but nice doesn't cut it when Cosmo's pool parties are legendary, Encore Beach Club is printing money, and even Mandalay Bay has a beach that people actually want to visit. Aria's pool might as well be at a Marriott in Scottsdale for all the excitement it generates. The renovation nightmare they can't afford. Let's talk about what it would actually take to fix Arya. We're not talking about new carpet and fresh paint. The entire technological infrastructure needs to be ripped out and replaced. Every room, every system, every interface. Conservative estimate? $500 million minimum. But that's just the tech. The casino floor needs a complete personality transplant. The restaurants need to be gutted and replaced with concepts people actually want. The entertainment venues need acts that matter. The pool needs a complete reimagining. Add it all up, and you're looking at close to $1 billion to make Arya competitive again. Here's the problem. MGM's got bigger fires to fight. Mandalay Bay needs work. Luxor is basically on life support. Bellagio requires constant investment to stay relevant. Park MGM just got renovated. Where's Arya on the priority list? Somewhere between eventually and maybe never. Even if they had the money, renovating Arya is like doing surgery on a moving train. You can't close the property. It's too big, too central to MGM's portfolio. But doing renovations while staying open means years of construction, unhappy guests, and reviews complaining about noise and dust. It's a no-win situation. The smart play would be to blow it up and start over, metaphorically speaking. Complete rebrand, new identity, fresh concept. But that takes courage, vision, and money. 3 things in short supply in corporate Vegas these days. Meanwhile, every day they wait, the hole gets deeper. The technology gets more outdated. The competition gets stronger. It's like watching a slow-motion train wreck, except the train is made of glass and costs $8.5 billion. What could save Arya, but won't? Look, I'm not completely heartless. Arya's got good bones. The location is prime. The rooms are actually spacious. The bones of a great property are all there. With the right moves, this place could be incredible. Imagine if they stripped out all the failed tech and went the opposite direction. Ultra simple, intuitive, reliable. Not smart rooms, but perfectly functioning rooms. Not touch screens everywhere, but actual light switches that work every time. Revolutionary idea, right? They could lean into being the quiet luxury option. Not boring, but sophisticated in a way that actually means something. Bring in entertainment that matters, not another Cirque show, but something nobody else has. Create a signature experience that people can't get anywhere else on the Strip. The casino floor needs energy injected directly into its veins. Lower limits to bring in volume. Better odds to attract serious players. Actual atmosphere instead of this corporate morgue vibe they've got going. Make people want to gamble there, instead of feeling like they're filling out tax forms. Food and beverage could be fixed tomorrow. Bring in hot new chefs, not celebrity has-beens. Create concepts that people talk about. Price things reasonably instead of insulting guests' intelligence. But here's why none of this will happen. Corporate Vegas doesn't take risks anymore. They look at spreadsheets, not experiences. They care about quarterly earnings, not long-term survival. Bottom line, Arya represents everything wrong with corporate Vegas. Too safe to be exciting, too expensive to be value, too old to be cutting edge. In a city built on risk, playing it safe is the biggest gamble. What killed your last Vegas trip? Comment below and subscribe.